All right, so tonight we are doing a Batman by Geoffrey Blasiman. I like Geoffrey's style because it looks like it's really conducive to the thick brush style that I've been enjoying while doing inks on Jack Kirby stuff. Now, I'm trying to develop a style that allows me to ink quickly. So, my lines are going to be pretty fat. So I don't have to double them up. And I'm trying to stay zoomed out as much as possible to emulate what it's like to ink a real piece of paper. Does that look right? Not particularly. Oh, this one's going to be tricky. Yeah, I can't do it straight. There we go, that's not too bad. I have the smoothing on at 50%, but I find that if I turn the smoothing up too high, it makes it look ridiculously digital, and I don't want to do that. I want it to look as much like real ink as possible. Now, we haven't seen it yet, but I have 3 layers set up. The 3 layers that I have set up are for the straight inks, a separate layer for the fills, and then a separate layer for hatching. I keep the fills on a separate layer so that I can make the opacity different. So I found when doing stuff before that if I left the fills on the same layer as my inks, then I'd get lost when the shadows from one volume overlapped into another volume. So now I can keep my shadows at 50% opacity when I hit the fill button. And that way I don't lose the edges of my volumes when I fill. And in order to execute that, I have a reference layer on. I don't know if you can see it here. And that's what it looks like when I fill at 50%. Hot 8. I'll do some more fill. The only thing is I struggle to make sure that my shapes are fully enclosed before I fill. For example, right here, That's open. This is open. This is open over here. This is open. I don't want to do my hatching yet. But I need to close these shapes if I want to be able to fill the whole thing. So let's see what happens when we fill it. Also, by having it on different layers, I like the fact that, watch what happens if I try to do line work on this one. Whoops. It's the wrong color. So that way I know that I'm on the wrong layer. Same thing if I fill on this one. It's the wrong color. So I know that I need to be on the right layer to fill. And if I'm on the wrong layer, it'll be the wrong color. Okay, there we go. We're getting there. All right, let's see. Should really do the outlines first, but that's okay. Now how are we going to do this big line? Let's try it zoomed out. See what happens. Is that awful? Well, that's pretty bad. Well, let's turn off the blue layer. We'll try it again. Whoops. Now the question is, why does I zoom out? Well, look what happens when you zoom in and you try to do these gigantic lines. You can follow it a lot more closely. It's a lot harder to make it smooth. This looks like it's going to be all black, so it doesn't really matter where we put our lines. We're just going to fill the whole thing anyways. Oops. Don't want to do it there though. And something I was discussing this week, the way that the nibs work and the sensitivity works on these digital pens, you got to start thin and go to thick, which is very different from how we do it with ink. When I work with ink, you can feather out. Oops, is that right? Go from thick to thin. Whoops, what am I doing? Erasing? I don't want to erase. With these things, they don't have the spring in it that you'd need to be able to go from thick to thin. So you gotta go from thin to thick by pushing in. It's pretty much the only direction you can go is push in on the nib. So you start in your thin and then you push and you terminate. Oh, was that too thick? That was too thick. It's got a bum chin. There we go. You can pull out a little bit, but you can see, watch. Now when you got to go back to thin, it's not as good. All right, let's see where we're at. This right here won't matter because it'll be filled in. This looks like it's getting filled in too. A little bit of a core shadow. This is a cast shadow. The feathers up here is unusual for a cast shadow. There we go. Look at that. Now, usually I do my hatching on a separate layer, and the reason is that way I can delete it if I don't like it. Let's see what we got. Oh, very airy, huh? Oh, zoomed in too much. I lost the vibe for what I'm actually looking at. That's the thing is, you zoom in too much, you can lose what you're looking at, and your brain doesn't know what it's supposed to be anymore. All right, you know what? I'll do that on my hatch layer. All right, anything else that needs to be done? Just this area. I don't know what this is going to look like. We'll try hatching it out. All right, so now I move to my hatch layer. Still, I got to go thin to thick, which is... There we go. I know there was some up here that was required. Right here, I think. No, too thick. The day that they make a digital nib with a good spring in it that pops back, so you can go thick to thin, that'll be the day. Although they kind of do that with the big long apple brush style tips. But you can see these are garbage. Compared to what you'd be able to get away with a real brush pen or brush. Okay, let's see, which way are we going? Because with the brush, you'd go out like this. But now you got to go and look at how bad that looks in comparison. But from far away, it should be okay. Singing this will be the day that I die. All right, let's see what we got. We got a little bit of nose. Is he done? Ryan Benjamin would say, in your blacks, add some whites to do contour lines in white. So let me see what we got. This still needs to be worked on. I think I'd like to add another line under his eye. Is that dumb? I can't tell. I feel like it is. All right, so what are we supposed to be doing here? Like what is this shadow supposed to be doing? Like I see the pencils, but I don't really understand what direction it's supposed to be or what kind of shape it's supposed to be creating. Is it like one of those? Possibly. Because if it is, then the way that I would do that would be like this. Like that. Oh, I did it on the wrong layer. Let's try that again. Okay, so like, oh, it's on the erase. Look at this. Those aren't looking right. Let's try smaller. Okay, so if they come out of here then? Like, are they getting wider apart? Like that? Like a David Finch style thing? Maybe. So David Finch would also go like this. He'd go like this. Like that. Oops. The reason I've got these stray lines appearing everywhere is because if you hold the R button and draw, it spins. Does anybody know this program? This is Fresco. All right, it looks like the only thing that we're missing is something like that. Looks like a signature. All right, so doing like a Jack Kirby type thing. Side of the pencil. Whoops, what did I just erase? Probably something up here. Like that. Robert Marzullo. David Finch style. There you go. All right, so what are we doing over here? I want to do something like this. That's how I do it. Whoops. All right, there we go. Let's see if we're done. When we're done, what we do is, oh no, look at this. It's got like some sort of weird saggy thing going on his. Right here. So this is why it's important to zoom out, because your brain looks at it and is like, no, that is not how that's supposed to look at all. All right, so we want to accent that without making it so obvious. See? There, that should be a lot better. So now it's implied without being distracting. All right, so one layer I haven't added yet is my white cuts. So let me do a cuts layer. Now what I'll do is I'll pump all of these guys up to 100%, like that. The only issue with fresco is it's really bad at leaving these lines around the fill. So let's refill. I don't really know what it's doing. Seems to be ignoring my requests to fill. If I change colors. Yeah, it's not filling. I don't know what's going on. Fill. Why are you not filling? If I turn off reference, seems like a bad idea. No, it's still not filling. Clearly, I am not the expert at this program that I thought I was. Oof, that is an awful looking ear though. Look at how janky that is. All right, so, wow, and he's got like no shape definition around here. So let's see if we can't beef this up. What's going on? Why are you making a new layer? Can I draw? It's making a new layer. Why are these layers locked? Oh, because I'm using the vector tool. All right, let's try this again. Nope, that looks terrible. So in reality, coming from the tattoo world, this would have a ambient occlusion right here like this. That's what I like to do. I don't know what layer I put that on though. Thank you for joining. All right, let's add some ambient occlusion. I love ambient occlusions. That's probably one of the only bits of lighting that seems really natural to me. This doesn't look right though. It's not sharp enough. Whoops, too much. There we go. All right, so that looks so much better to me. And there would be an ambient occlusion right here too, like this. And let's straighten this guy out. Look at this. Watch this trick. You ready? Oh, look at that. I'll do one on the other side. All right. Let's see how that one looks. Oh, isn't that so much better? And you know what? Now that I look at it, I'm like, I want to do a big... I want to do a big shadow like this. That looks better to me. But look at the original. This is the original. Whoops. It's not in the original. So what do you do? Can we add it? Will anyone notice if we add it? Whoops. Because I feel like it really needs it. So here we go. Why are you doing that again? Oh, I'm getting stuck on vector again. Is that too much? The question is, where is the light source coming from that's resulting in that shadow? The answer is, who cares? It's ambient occlusion. It's the light that gets trapped and can't get out. It says, I've fallen and I can't get out. That adds a lot of depth to our drawings. Oh, I missed one. I gotta fill this right there. Oh no! That tells us that the shape's not closed. So let's look for where it isn't closed. Right here, it's not closed right there. G, fill, B. All right, are we done? No, I was going to the white cuts. All right, so for white cuts, I'm going to absorb. I'll leave it like that. Okay, now we go to our cuts layer, switch to a white paint. All right, let's start cutting. I'll start thinner than that. See where else will we get a cut. Maybe right here. You know where I actually learned how to do this? Is death metal logos. Let's see. Nope. They actually do them this way though. With an Apple Pencil. But I can't do it that way. I don't have an Apple Pencil. I have a stiff Huon. So I gotta go thin to thick. Does that look all right? I have no idea. Perhaps not. Maybe it's just a highlight. Like that. All right, will that even be visible when we zoom out? Probably not. And we call that a GED, good enough. Is that too much? Probably. It's the funny thing about light. every different shape that light can make tells our brain something different. So we got to make sure that we do it right. All right, I think that's pretty good. Put all of our transparencies at black or at 100%. And there is our finished product. One Geoffrey Blasiman Batman. And what I'll do is I'll do this. Oops. No, it says I can't have it. But I can do this. I can go Blasiman. Did I close it? Did it close? There we go. So copy this, paste it to a new layer. Where did it go? I have no idea where it went. Can it go there? I have no idea what it's doing. Yeah, I have no idea where it is. Keep pasting stuff and weird things keep happening. All right, so there we go. There's our finished product. Hi, Carson. And how I would finish this off is I would go into Photoshop and I go on my fill layer and I give it a stroke, and then that would get rid of all the aliasing issues around the fills. There's a little bit of an issue with the shape on this ear, so I'm just going to correct that a bit. Let's see, I want a black pen, not a vector. Is that doing anything? I can't even tell. Yeah, here we are. I don't know, this ear just doesn't look right to me. No, I should have started at the tip. All right, let's see what we got. All right, that is done for the first one for the evening. I'm going to shut this down and then open her up with a new one. So that'll be in a different video. All right, thanks to everyone for tuning in this evening. Check out Geoffrey Blasiman's stuff. If you like stuff like this, his stuff is great. I am really enjoying inking it. And here is the pencils for reference. There you go. All right, have a good evening.